What just happened? Bruh, as the late, great Vince Lombardi once said, what the hell's going on out here? You've got the Colts blowing a 21-point lead to the Steelers. And then you've got the Browns losing to the Jets? What? I don't know what to say. Recap for the Ravens. I don't even know if I want to make a recap at this point. Ravens got the job done. They beat the Giants. They now control their own destiny. Great. Get the job done next week. I'll get into the Ravens later on today, maybe. I don't know. Because this right now, we got to talk. I can't believe this happened. With the Colts Steelers game, I was iffy. I said the Steelers had a chance because Ben had a players meeting and it looked like they were going to get focused. So I thought they could come out. If they start fast and start sharp early on, they'll do great. But then they were down 21 points. When they went down 21 points, I'm like, this game's over. It was 24-7. The game is done. You don't lose that game. If you're the coach, you don't lose that game. You know bro. Not only are you fighting for the division with the Titans, but you also know that you have not clinched a playoff spot. You have a 21-point lead. You don't blow that with the playoffs on the line. What the? I didn't watch much of this game during the comeback. I was paying attention in the fourth quarter, but towards the end of the fourth quarter, because I was watching the Ravens game, making sure they closed out. I was looking at the Cleveland game, and I was looking at this game. So I didn't get to catch all of what happened here. But I need Colts fans and especially Steelers fans, be honest with me. I heard that a lot of questionable calls went towards the Steelers' favor. And that's actually what helped them get back in the game. It's okay to be honest. The refs always screw teams over. It's okay to be honest. This game was in Heinz Field. It's fine. Be honest. If the refs screwed the Colts up, just be honest. There were a couple calls that were unfair that went towards the Steelers' way. Be honest. It's not going to change the fact that your team won and you now are the AFC North champs. It's not going to change anything. But it's okay to be honest. You might have got away with a lot in this game. Who knows? Refs are always bad, so I can never really hold it on the teams. The refs are the ones making the calls, not the teams. But, man, to blow a 21-point lead, the Colts are now the 7th seed because of that. Can you believe this? They're the 7th seed in the playoffs. Oh, this is scandalous. But what's crazier is the Browns and the Jets game. Now, Browns fans, I'm going to say it. Don't worry. I'm going to say it. First of all, I'll be talking to you guys later on because there was some arrogant Brown fans, not all of you guys, but there was some arrogant Browns fans that started celebrating way too early when you guys were 9-3. I warned them. They didn't listen. We're going to talk about that later. As for the ones that stayed humble, I'm so sorry you guys have to go through this. This is so unfair to you guys. This is so unfair. So let's get into this debacle. Browns take on the Jets, and the Browns are pretty much missing everybody. I mean, they don't even have their receivers. They're missing so many pieces on the offensive line. A lot of guys were out for this game. So they were already in a disadvantage. But the unfortunate part is that nobody's gonna care or really sit there and use it as an excuse because you're facing the Jets. And yes, we can counter. If you're a Browns fan, you can counter when they beat the Rams last week. And the Rams are a playoff team. They beat the Rams. So, can you really hold us? They beat the Rams. But no one's gonna care, man. Everyone's gonna be like, you still got that running game, man. And that running game wasn't really able to do anything today. It's Kareem Hunt. They couldn't get anything going. They had opportunities, but they couldn't get anything going. And Baker Mayfield, all of a sudden, he's turning the ball over. It's like, what? Crucial moment of the game, he fumbles the ball. One thing he's been doing so great these last couple of games that's been successful for Cleveland was protecting the football. I don't know, man. Just the team as a whole, Cleveland today, it just seems like they lost those players and they just went down. Like, they just couldn't do it. You know, a chance right here, playoffs. Not only playoffs, because you don't know what's going to happen with the Steelers-Colts game. Not only with the playoffs, but a chance to still fight to win the AFC North. It was right there, and they couldn't get it done. They had opportunities against the Jets. They just could not get it done. Man, Stefanski's play calling today was very questionable. I'm looking at these guys, and I'm like, wow. Thanks, Garage. Wow, this is wild. I feel for Cleveland, man. I feel for Cleveland. They didn't have a lot of their guys out there. They had to go fight a team, and they weren't even ready or fully equipped to do it. But still, at the end of the day, this is how the NFL is. And you can't expect them to delay a game. Otherwise, we're going to week 18. Because I know people will bring up well, they did it for the Ravens. They delayed it for 2 weeks or something like that, just to give them what they needed. First of all, you're right. They did do that. But that was week 12. And the only reason they managed to fit that in, they managed to pull it off, is because they were able to somehow fit that game in without going to week 18. If they delay your game, we're going to week 18, no question. And they don't want to do that. So they were trying to avoid that with that situation. Secondly, for all the delay they were doing to help Lamar Jackson and the crew get back, Lamar Jackson and the other starters didn't even come back. RG3 and our backups were still out there. So they still had to play a game against the Steelers. And guess what? They lost that game. So yes, it's unfair that they got that 2-week advantage. But it did absolutely squat for the Ravens because they didn't even get their guys back. Lamar was still on the list, and RG3 still had to play, and a lot of our backups still had to play on the offense and the defense. And they ended up losing that game anyway. So it didn't work in anybody's favor. It's just the NFL screwing up as usual. So yeah, I feel for you guys. It's so unfortunate that you guys had to go through this. It's not fair, but this is how the NFL is, man. It's just not fair. And it's so unfortunate. And Cleveland's going to be feeling this for a while because now they no longer control their own destiny. And just think about that. In 3 hours, seriously, 3.5 hours ago, they controlled their own destiny and they had a chance to win the AFC North. Now, the Steelers have won the AFC North and now they don't control their destiny. They have to win next week against the Pittsburgh Steelers and hope that the Colts lose to the Jaguars? I think the Colts got the Jaguars week 17. Oh, Lord, Cleveland can't get a break. But you know what? It's 2020. It's 2020. Anything can happen. So Cleveland, still have faith. The Jags may want to pull out. Because think about it. The Jets won today. So that means the Jags are guaranteed to have the first draft pick. Maybe week 17, they want to go out there and play spoiler for a Colts team. Think about that. Let's spoil their chance to make the playoffs. We have an opportunity to do so. So they may want to play spoiler. And if that happens, great. You've got your chance. So it's time for some prayers for Cleveland because it's going to hurt. And I told you the one thing that was really going to hurt them, was that Baltimore game. I warned them of that. I said Baltimore is 7-5. You're 9-3. If Baltimore wins that game, they're most likely winning out. And if both you and them finish with 11-5 and the Colts don't lose, you guys will be on the outside looking in and you will miss the playoffs. There's a very good chance Cleveland can miss the playoffs now. So this is unfortunate, but we'll see. Let's see what happens week 17. Colts need to win week 17 to get in the postseason, and the Browns need to win and hope for some help. They seriously need it right now. Oh my God, this is wild. But as a Ravens fan, you gotta be happy, man. Man, the difference in a day makes. Yesterday, I'm over here heated because Fitzpatrick pulled some crap, some garbage out of nowhere, and somehow the Raiders choke and the Dolphins win. I'm sitting there like, oh boy, we're in trouble. And I'm like, we might actually miss the playoffs with an 11-5 record. Now, today, we're sitting here in a situation I didn't think was going to happen, in which both the Colts and the Browns lost. That's crazy. I mean, if you saw how the Steelers were playing, there's no way you would think they would come back down 21. No. Ben's arm looked shot. None of the receivers were doing anything. Then all of a sudden, Ben can throw the ball down the field and Juju's getting hot? What? Who expected to see that to happen? You couldn't predict that. I thought the Colts had this in the bag when they were up 21. But apparently not. So now they're going to have to fight and make sure they win their game in week 17 to get in the playoffs. They might have just lost the division. As for Cleveland, I thought they had this game against the Jets despite the guys that were missing. Because I was like, it's the Jets. And I don't know, maybe, who knows? Who knows? But the Jets, they fought hard. They fought tough. That defense did their thing. And they held on and they got the job done. So credit to the Jets. I don't know what they're doing right now, but credit to the Jets. Wow. So Baltimore, now the ball's in your court. Week 17. We've been here before. Week 17. Cincinnati. Go into Cincinnati, win that game, punch your ticket into the playoffs, and we'll see what happens now. This is wild, man. I did not expect to see this happen. This is just crazy. This is ludicrous, man. Oh my God. If you're a Ravens fan, you're happy today. If you're a Browns fan, you're both you're just disgusted and disappointed. If you're a Colts fan, you're absolutely shocked. And if you're a Steelers fan, you're happy as well because you won the division. So, at the end of the day, you'll be hosting a playoff game. We'll see what happens. The 1 seed was also picked up by the Chiefs, so the playoffs are running through Kansas City, which it rightfully should be going through Kansas City. And now, Ravens don't have to sit back and hope that the Bills don't rest their starters in Week 17 against the Dolphins. At the end of the day, this might play out the exact way I wanted to, because now I wanted Tua in the Dolphins in the playoffs. I predicted Tua in the Dolphins in the playoffs. And I wanted the Ravens to also be in the playoffs because of my squad. And now both of those might happen if both teams take care of business and win their games. So we'll see what happens. Week 17 finna be interesting. With that being said, that's all I got, man. That is all I got. I'm out of here, man. Peace.